Watch as we turn this into this. What's going on, everyone? Jason with Wandering Grace Farm. Working on next year's garden, and I need to do some work on some of these trees down here. Let me show you what we're dealing with. So this is our current garden. It's a 50 by 50 garden. We started off in May planting 25 feet of it. So it was about right there, pretty much where the cattle panel ends. It's 25 feet. So we planted this half in May, and then in July we planted the second half. So that's what you see right now really is that second half, because we planted it a little bit later. Everything we planted in May for the most part is done except for the okra and the flowers that we planted also. But what we're working on today is the garden for next year, which is going to be a 200 by 50 foot garden. So it's going to be 200 feet going that way, going east. And so we have to offset the edge of the garden from the fence line. So 50 feet pushes us into this tree line. And so right here is the rough corner of where the garden's going to be. And then straight ahead, I don't know if you can see it, down there at the other end, there's another stake with some marking tape on it. But as you can see, as we go down here, we're going to be in the tree line. And not the trunks of the trees, but just the branches that are overhanging. So it's not much, but like this one's really the big culprit and what we have to address today. But as that sun, today's a pretty good day for it. You can see where the shadow is from the tree, which is right here. So it's not too much into our garden, but in July, August, it'll be a little bit more because the sun will be more directly overhead. But what we need to do is we need to essentially chop this thing straight down to try to prevent any shadows going onto the garden. It's not a big deal because we have been wanting to trim up these trees anyways. You see how they're pretty low, branches are low. There's a tree in here, a cedar, old cedar that's dead, that we need to address. This one right here. So we've been wanting to get in here and deal with some of this stuff anyways, especially when we mow. I like getting close to the trees, and I don't want the limbs hitting the top of the tractor. So it's not like we're going out of our way in order to do this. This was something that we planned anyways, but we finalized where we want the garden to be that next year, and we got to take care of these trees this year. So as we move further down the line, 200 feet, you can tell there's nothing out here, so this will be good area, and won't have to do any tree trimming here. The idea is whenever it's not going to be, so next year is going to be this one. 2027 will probably, depending on how this one goes, 2027 will probably venture another 200 feet that way. And so we'll have to do the same thing with these trees right here along this row to try to get those cleaned up. But that's next year's problem. This year's problem is getting this tree line cleaned up. So that's the project that we're going to do today. It's just going to be me today. The boys have to go into town to watch football film, and I think that Laurie is going to be delivering bread, and I need to break out the chainsaws to deal with these trees, and I'm not supposed to use them unsupervised. So let's see what we get done before she leaves. think that about does it for that project today. Let's take a look at what we got. So as you look down the line, you can tell that we cut a lot off that tree, a lot of that overhang, and it looks a whole lot better. As we walk down here, you can tell cleaned up quite a bit. Really was just worried about these two trees right here for today. This big oak right here, and then this other oak right here. And so trimmed a lot off of that one, trimmed a lot off of that one. It doesn't look too bad. I was afraid that cutting off some of the limbs would make it look like it was absolutely chopped off, but it doesn't look that bad actually. And so we were able to pull I thought I could shake the cedar out. It was moving quite a bit, but wasn't able to shake it out and push it out, so I had to get the tractor and push this thing out. But this thing was dead, DED dead. So we got quite a bit of waste piled up. And so the plan is for next weekend or weekend after, come in here and chop it down, and then we have a dead hedge on the north side of the property on one of our corners that will add this to the dead hedge, because that thing's settled down, and so we need to add stuff to it. So this will be a good filler when we need it. So for those of you wondering, the pole saw that I use is a Stihl HT 131, and the chainsaw that I have is a Stihl MS 251. No particular reason why I went with these. I did some research and looking into it before I chose them. I can't tell you exactly why I got them, but this is what I've used. I've had them for about 2 years now, and I'm extremely pleased with them so far. So that's what I've been using here on the farm. Overall, I'm happy with how the project turned out. You know, I set out to clean up the tree line, clean up the overhanging branches that were over the garden area, trying to mitigate any shadows that would be cast next year in the height of the summer. And I think we'll be all right. Any shadows that remain from the branches that I left, it'll be short, and it'll move, so I don't think it'll affect the garden at all. I wanted to get in here and do this today because I think I have planned middle of October, I think it is. I'm going to come in here and plot out the new garden. I'm going to till the rows. I'm going to put lime in. It's an acidic soil, and I need to raise the pH. So I wanted to only worry about prepping the garden. I didn't want to worry about the trees overhanging and having to trim those this winter. I want to take care of that now, so didn't have to worry about it after the rows were done. In the winter, when this cleans out, when this jungle back here cleans up a little bit, what we'll do is we will come in here and we will clean up the floor. We'll trim any low-hanging branches there are. We'll get the tree line, the outside of the tree line cleaned up. Whenever I mow, I like to get up against the trees. I don't like the branches hitting the top of the tractor. So just need to raise it up a little bit so I can take the tractor underneath. So we'll do that in the winter time, clean this up a little bit. But other than that, I think it was a success. So thanks for watching. Take care and stay rooted.